Hi, I'm Ashlyn. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of MyLab and its different functions. We'll go just slightly into the content, but more so I wanted to give you just an overview of MyLab as a whole. So in MyLab Math, this is the landing page. When you log into pearsonmylab.com, if you have multiple courses, it'll look like this. Most people don't have this many courses. I'm just lucky, I guess. And so when you're in here, you'll see the different courses set up, and you can also create your own. I did create um, a course for the Edwards Penny Calvis text in your accounts, but I did not set up Nagel and SAP yet. That one is slightly older, and so I wanted to lead with the newer, the fresher version, but if we like the other text, we can also create that. Also, with your instructor access, you can create a course based on any Pearson text. So if you wanted to review something completely separate, wanted to check out the ebook, you can do so. You can just type in the author, the subject, whatever you like, and search it here, and then you'll just select it to create a course. You can also copy a colleague's course. So if you have a colleague teaching that taught a course last semester, or maybe if you adopt this and moving forward, if y'all wanted to make a shell course or a coordinator course, you can go ahead and copy it and have a starting point, which I help professors with pretty frequently as well. So we'll go back here. The other option right here is enroll as instruction instructor. If you do that, you can join another course as a fellow instructor, and you can also change the different roles and the access that your section instructor has. So if for some reason you wanted them to be able to control one thing but maybe not access the grades, you can do so. Also, you can add TAs to the course. They join like a student and then they're upgraded afterwards. Very easy to do, and you can also change the different access levels for them if you want them to be able to see and manipulate grades, or maybe just only let them see the assignments. You can change those options as well. Now the course, there's an instructor course and a student course. An instructor course, there's not a way that students can join it as a student to work in. So they're used more as like a shell course or a coordinator course. You can create a shell instructor course and then make child courses underneath it. So I have some professors that will they have multiple sections. They will create their, spring 2026 shell course. They'll do all their changes in it, and then they'll make the child courses based off of that. And they live nestled underneath it. And the student course is the one that the students can join. I do want to point out there's two ways to use MyLab. You can use it standalone and have all your students go directly to MyLab, pearsonmylab.com, or you can sync it to your Canvas. When we sync it to our Canvas, that allows us to sync over our grades. It allows students to register by clicking the button in Canvas. So it's more of a seamless experience. When you have assigned assignments and your grades are synced, your assignments will also show up in your assignment list in your Canvas, which is really helpful just to have, again, a seamless experience for the student. So we'll go ahead and click into this course I made. Now looking at your landing page, it takes us automatically to the course home. And this is the instructor course home. Of course, you can toggle here to view the student course home. And the students, it focuses around the assignments and the announcements and what's due next. We'll go up a step to manage course. All the buttons with a little eyeball with a line through it, those are instructor only buttons, so your students cannot see them. You do have control over this, so if there's more things that you wanted to hide or not hide, you can do so right here in Edit Course menu. You can, of course, change a lot of different settings within the course, your grading settings, your due dates, your times, all within this Manage Course. I'm not going to go through all of it, but just know pretty much everything is editable. Now in our assignments, this button right here, this is the student assignment button, which you can also use it. So this will show students the assignments that are there and available. So if you have created an assignment, but you don't make it available and assign it, it will not show up to your students. I also want to point out, clicking on this assignment button, if you go up here to your right and click Manage View and switch to Manage, that is a way that'll jump you to your instructor assignment manager. Students are not able to do that. They can just access it from the student view. And I do have an entire separate video on the document I shared showing how to create assignments in Assignment Manager. So I will keep moving, but if you want to dive deeper, you can check out that video or let me know and we can walk through it together. Now here's a student gradebook. It's exactly as it sounds. It shows the gradebook just for the student that's logged in. Now we'll go to our eText contents. If you want to open the entire eText book, you can click right here. It'll open in a new tab. Now, if you wanted the ebook on your mobile devices, you can download the Pearson Plus app. There's also a link for that right here. You can also access your Pearson e-text by the chapter if you click right here as well. In this course, the way they built it, they also broke out the materials and the resources by chapter, I guess just to make it a little more easy for students to focus. So they built it this way as well. Again, you can change that if you'd like to. Now, study plan. This is my favorite part. I just think it's really cool giving students a resource and an outlet to go and study and quiz themselves and kind of take control of their mastery of these different topics. And that's what the study plan allows for them. So as they do their homework in MyLab, the things you assign, it'll show their progress based on different topics covered. And then also they can practice themselves. So as they start practicing, they can go to this progress tab right here and it'll recommend what they study. So I have not done any work, so it's going to tell me to start from the top. But if I had done work, maybe I've mastered these first few things. Maybe it says, chapter 2.2, you need to study. So it'll give me a little push pin. It'll show me my mastery points. So if I did master these, they would turn purple. If I've practiced them but not yet mastered them, it'll have those stripes. And then the remaining stays white like this. Now, again, it's really cool because it gives them two different environments to work in. It's the practice, which when they work in this, it looks just like a homework assignment. It gives them extra help and there's no pressure on it. And then quiz, they do it like a quiz. So there is no extra help and it makes it feel more like a quiz. So it really gives them a chance to test their knowledge. And as a professor, you do not have to assign any of this. This is not your assignments. This is completely separate. It is a study area for them. Speaking of study areas, there's the video and resource library where you can select all or you can select specific chapters and see the different materials available for the chapter. Highly recommend looking at the interactive figures. These are fan favorites. I have professors that'll open them up during their lectures and manipulate them. I'm not a math professor, so I will let you jump in, but just know they're really cool and fun to use. And I do know when I did take math classes, I loved being able to visualize things, and I did not have these really cool interactive figures. Of course, there's videos as well. Again, as an instructor, you're welcome to share these in your class, or students can find these on their own as some extra practice. And then there's the multimedia textbook as well. All right, a student solutions manual, it's exactly as it sounds. They open it, they can download the PDFs for the different chapters. Right now it's hidden. That's the automatic setting in case you just don't want the students to have all of these solutions, but you can unhide this and that way they can access and download this as well. Accessibility, it's a big topic right now. I have worked with A&M accessibility resources with their teams and for the most part, everything at Pearson, I think past 2018 has been built to meet the guidelines. The WCAG, I think it's 2.2 guidelines. But if there is something missing, just know, or there's something that's sought after maybe for a student with a special circumstance, we do have an entire Pearson accessibility team that's put together. I've worked with them on multiple occasions. One specifically where there was a student with visual impairments that needs specific needs, and I was able to join meetings with them and actually one of our Pearson accessibility teammates, she has visual impairments. So it's really cool to see her using the screen reader products and really explaining how they work in working with students. So really great accessibility team. If you have any questions here, more than happy to get answers for you. Purchase options. So once you purchase MyLab, there's this option to purchase a print textbook at a discounted price. I have the price written down. I believe it's let me check quickly. Yes, the print upgrade price is $69.99 and that's shipped to the student's house and it's free shipping. So a discounted rate if they did decide, you know what, I'm using the e-text, maybe I really do need something paper in front of me to draw on. Now, the redeeming a prepaid print textbook, if you'd like, the bookstore can order combo access cards. So it's actually an access card for MyLab with e-text that also contains the prepaid cost of the print upgrade. So this is helpful for maybe someone on a scholarship or who knows they're going to need a print textbook. They can buy that combo access card. They won't have to use their credit card at a later date. It'll already be prepaid and they just redeem it right here and put in their mailing address. All right, instructor tools. Now these are your instructor resources. Your assignment manager, this is the same tool that you can link to by going to the assignments and then toggling over to the manage view. It's pretty easy to navigate as well. You can drag and drop these different assignments. When you click on the options on create assignments, you can jump in and edit, copy, delete, change your assignment settings and your student settings. Your student settings, you can change things per student. So if you need to give extra time, if you need to change grades for that student, you can do so in here. You can get question details, preview the assignment, and you can print the assignment. Yes, that's been really helpful in different scenarios as well. And then you can replace questions. I'll go ahead and click into here. I do want to point out the different options for the settings. So there's the availability. So when it's available is when they'll be able to see it in their course. And then when it's due is, of course, the due date. And you can change your different settings for late submission. So if you want to allow partial credit, if you want to allow them to work and change the score after the due date with a penalty, you can do so. You can add prerequisites, so they can't, work on a certain assignment until they've completed or mastered something else. You can change their attempts or limit attempts. You can allow them to practice their homework. I do like to allow this one, that they can rework questions for practice with the due date. It's really good for exam prep. And then you can allow students to print as well. And I know students really appreciate that in different scenarios. And learning aids. I do want to point this out because you can change these different learning aids. Help me solve this. When they're working an assignment, it pops up and it breaks it down and gives it step by step to them. View an example is it'll open a similar question, but just with different numbers. And then that way they can view the example and then jump back in and say, okay, now I know how to do it, and try it with their own. Ask my instructor. It'll send you a message to you, and it'll show the student, show the exact question. So the next time they see you, or maybe you can reach out or reply to them an email, and you'll know exactly where they were when they asked you this, and you can explain it. And then instructor tip, whenever you're creating your assignment, I pointed it out in the assignment video, it'll give you the option to add an instructor tip. And so if you do that, then it'll show up. All right, and then allow other instructors to import this assignment. It's exactly as it sounds. We're going to keep going down. The instructor gradebook. The instructor gradebook, I love the MyLab instructor gradebook. I don't have students in here, so it's kind of hard to see. I'll try and get you some screenshots of someone who does have it. I know there's some sample courses that the marketing teams have. But once you do have students in here, I love being able to view the different results. So in here, you can view results by grade, by time spent, and there is at-risk students. So if you have a student who had been working really well and all of a sudden the progress stopped, it will flag them for you. And then also you can click on a student, you can see all of their assignments they've completed, how long it took them in each assignment, what time they submitted each question. So I like to use the example, if a student comes to you and they say, Professor, I'm failing my tests, I don't really know what to do, I need some help. And you go in here, you can see that everyone else spent an hour or 45 minutes on their homework, and they took 5 minutes on their homework. However they managed to do that, maybe you'll see, well, looks like you're not reading your homework, you're not doing your homework, and you can jump in and kind of step there. Or you can, maybe you have a student that's like, I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong, I keep getting these questions wrong. You can see their step-by-step answers by clicking into their individual student and the individual assignment, and you can see, here's the step where you went wrong, and here's how we can fix it. So the gradebook does have a lot of really cool tools in here. You can also view the progress of the study plan. You can view performance by chapter, how your students are doing. Yep, and there's your inactivity. And then you can change your weighting as well. A really cool tool that we also have, I guess it's a person, not a tool, but he is a resource, I should say. Aaron Warnock is he is a faculty advisor, and so he is a full-time faculty member at a college, but he also works for Pearson, and that he helps other professors around the nation. So I love looping him in because he is a math professor, very talented in weighting and making your grades show up exactly how you want them to, or maybe building different assignments or quizzes covering different topics. He has a resource that we can loop in and will help as well. You can export your data. So if you decided for some reason not to sync to your Canvas, you can export those grades in a format that's easy to upload as well. We went through pretty much all of them. We can't point out new features. You can download the new features, so between the different editions. But if there's any questions about MyLab as a whole, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help out, and we can dive into any questions you have. Thanks.